You owe me dinner. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Conrad. Let's go.
I'm Ted. It's time to rock and roll.
Hey, Teddy. Season 3, brought to you by Nicholson 2.0.
What a great sponsor.
What a great sponsor. We'd like to welcome our guests here, some fellow podcasters. From Ed Bounds Live After Dark, we have the whole crew. Ain't that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All the troubles here.
All the
Yeah.
troubles.
Can't wait.
Unfortunately.
Please do us all a favor and go down the line and introduce yourselves. Start with the lady. Ladies first.
I'm Angie. I'm the crazy one that loves to argue with Ed, or better yet, tell him what's right and what's wrong. Yep.
I'm Brooke, also known as Bam Bam.
Of course, I'm Ed Bounds. I'm the one that don't put up with Angela's shit.
Not true. He's still living, so therefore he does.
I do have a question just to kick things off. How did you get, which I probably know the answer, but how did you get the nickname and who gave you the nickname Petty Eddie?
Well,
Because
that's
I
a
like to
good
consider
question.
myself pretty petty, but it doesn't rhyme with Conrad.
Well, that's a good question. In 2017, I started doing live videos. One day I just woke up, I got tired of running into people and that was just getting away with whatever they want to and being able to do whatever they want to do. And it's not my business, whatever, but you know, when you offend me or friends or family, I sit around for years and just watch. So one day I woke up and said, I'm gonna quit doing that.
His filter broke.
Yeah, so I'd call them out, and people would say, boy, yeah, you petty. And I'm like, well, I mean, I am petty, and then I can't remember who the lady was. She's older. And she said, ooh, petty Eddie. And I said, wait a minute, I like that. So
Okay.
I ran with it. I sold t-shirts with that name.
I'll tell you right now, it's a pretty cool nickname. Unless you've changed it to your government name.
No,
Is that how you sign your checks?
But I wish I could. Even on my Call of Duty game, my name is Petty Eddie. And the guys that log on that go against us, they're like, hey, that was a good idea. I like your name. I'm like, yeah, well, thank you.
We might have played against each other. I'm on Modern Warfare 3 right now.
That's when I play Modern
Okay.
Warfare 3.
All right, well, I'm waiting
Yep.
for the Black Ops.
Yeah.
So, Angie, Brooke, how did you guys get into podcasting? It sounds like he's touched on it, but we'll get to him next. But I want to hear from you ladies.
First of all, my parents are very disappointed in me
Oh.
because I hang out with Ed. No. I don't know. Ed had Crime Pursuit years ago, and for several years. I always thought it was interesting. I listened to it. I'm a crime junkie. Like, I listen to crime podcasts all the time at work. I type in, answer on the phone with one, pissed that I have to put it on pause with the other. And then Ed come to me and was like, hey, do you want to do a podcast together? You have a good voice. And we do well going back and forth. Mm-hmm. We're both very strong-minded, so if we have an opinion, we stick to our opinion. He might sway my opinion, make me see his side sometimes, and vice versa. But at the end of the day, I'm still me and he's still him, and we agree to get along. You know, we agree to disagree sometimes. But if you've listened to the podcast, you know, neither one of us bucked down to the other.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I think this might be fun. And it has been. Sometimes I want to choke him, and sometimes when we walk out of the building afterwards, I'm afraid we're going to get shot, and I'm like, ooh, sorry. And it's usually because of him. But yeah, he just proposed it one day, and I was like, I instantly jumped on it. Yeah, let's do this. So, yeah.
Yeah. Brooke?
Don't you say nothing bad about
Peer
me.
pressure. It was peer pressure.
I don't know why, you'd have to ask Ed, but he called me and asked me if I wanted to be his campaign manager when he was running for city council. I don't know why he chose me, but I knew nothing about politics. And
A lot of politicians don't.
I didn't even know what a Republican or a Democrat was. Never voted a day in my life, but I'm very educated on it now. But so we went from there, and then he started the podcast, and they had another girl on there, and she kind of went her other way. So They invited me, and then they invited me, and then I just stuck.
I'd call her and say, "You coming tonight?" "I don't know. Please come tonight." We had a plan, and then the peer pressure, and we'd start serving our drinks. Sealed the deal.
That doesn't, I'll tell you right now, a refrigerator full of beer has got us.
Yeah. He did at one point label us snow bunnies.
I thought you were the Angels is the last
Yes,
time I seen
we
you.
are changed.
Now you're the Angels.
Yeah.
I got forced to change it to Angel.
The Captain Raggedy ass over here.
I love snow bunnies.
Well, that falls under a whole different scenario that it ain't. That's not here.
Okay.
So we were going to kill him, and then we thought, it's illegal. Felonies are bad. I'm going to look like the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown and Orange.
We, on our
Yeah.
napkin.
So we were all out at Neon Moon one night, and she and I filled out informal but formal in our book napkin that said, "We resign as your snow bunnies. If you keep referring to us as such, you will die." And he relabeled us.
Yeah.
We accept angels because that we are.
I do like the snow bunnies, but I mean, but the Angels.
Our kids didn't like it.
But the Angels works too. I can see that working for you too. So I don't want to be on your bad side, guys. Ed, so when you had the concept to do this podcast, what was your angle? What were the things that you were looking to put out there for people to hear and interesting content that made people want to watch?
Well, a lot of people stopped me in Marion and, coming and going, and they were saying, "Ed, whatever happened, you get on live and talk about the issues in our community." And, I had a podcast years ago called Ed Bounds Live, period.
Yeah.
And it was a hit. Everybody liked it. People was onto it, and it ended, and people was like, "We want that back. Like, we want something that someone that's not scared to bring out issues that other news agencies that won't." And I thought about it. Then I sat Angela down and said, "Hey, this is what people are coming to me about. They want somebody, they want a voice. And they want people that's not scared." So I knew Angela wasn't scared, so she put up with me. So I'd always try to bully her, but don't always work. And so then when we had another young lady, it interfered with her business and working and stuff. So then Brooke came on, and it was like the chemistry was great. The community fed into it, and they loved the content that we was putting out because we cover multiple topics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get,
Yeah.
especially if Ed's in one of his moods.
Yeah.
Well,
that's-
one night I was after I put the baby to bed, I was sitting on the couch and I seen you guys were going live, and I started to watch it, and I was trying not to comment.
Oh, you
And
should.
Deanna walked in. She was like, "Don't be on there putting your 2 cents in."
Oh, please
I'm like,
do.
"It's hilarious. You should see this, man. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about me and you right now." But she talked me off the ledge. But I mean, who would have thought, like, some of the stuff, like why women, are staying single longer,
Yeah.
and that topic,
We could do multiple
And
shows on.
we will be doing multiple, because people hit me up all the time and throw these ideas at me, and they'll throw that bone out there and they'll sit back. And then they know if I like it, then I'll talk to them. They like it, we run it. And so, but the relationship stuff is more of what the people want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think in today's times, like, dating isn't what it used to be.
Oh,
I
definitely
remember
not.
when, I would get like a turtleneck and a sweater on, and Grandma would drop me off at the North Park Mall and be cruising for chicks.
Yes.
I had my gold chain
Those
out.
was the days. Those
People
was,
don't do that anymore.
No.
They're on Tinder.
you
Yeah.
know,
And it's
Plenty
not
of
just to
Fish
talk.
and,
Yeah.
and all that. You know, Conrad, it's funny you
Plenty of
brought that
Fish.
up. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was getting me a fried catfish dinner in South Marion, and there was a bunch of people in there. We was talking about music today versus music back in the 80s. And, you know, I don't care what nobody say, there's no music like the 80s music.
No.
Pop rock, love songs, rap, whatever, R&B. There's no music like the 80s. So, and we was talking about what these kids like. These kids are listening to today music of hit it and go. Keith Sweat taught us back in the day, you beg and you whine and you cry for her.
And then you do it right.
And then
You do it right.
You
Yeah.
know, and there's a big difference. The music that these kids listen to, it's like bang it, hit it, go, and there's no about love,
Yeah.
there's no affectionate.
Yeah.
It sucks, man.
Treat women
You know?
like trash.
Yeah.
They're not to be loved. They're to be used. I mean, it's promoted every day. It's being put in kids' heads.
It is. I mean,
And
it's,
women accept it. That's the
A lot
crazy
of them.
thing.
Yeah, a lot of
them. They accept it.
So it's a challenge. Like, I have a granddaughter, a 5-year-old granddaughter, and it's going to be a challenge to teach her to see herself as a prize and put herself on a pedestal. You know, and you have a daughter, right?
I have 3.
3, yeah. And so
Yep, so he understand.
it's tough. I'm glad I raised boys.
I got my karma.
Yeah.
but that's like you said.
You
I mean,
needed some, Conrad.
I did.
music. A lot of the younger parents don't understand that music that some of these teenage kids are listening to has got such an influence in their mind.
It does, because you even in pop rock and country back in the 80s, black, Hispanic, it was all about love and affection with your woman. You know, it wasn't about going through different women and hit. You know, it just was just a whole different ball game. And these kids today, they accept it. And then you got these older women, these cougars, that mess with these kids, these young little dudes that's doing that. And then she'll complain, I only get 5 minutes out of the deal. But then why do you keep letting me come back? You know, if you let OG like me come over,
They gonna get 2 minutes.
how they gonna get 2 minutes?
They're lucky to get more than a minute.
2 minutes on the back
45.
row.
2 minutes just making love, right?
I don't know what they talking about. They got another inbounds mixed up.
We've seen some of the messages you got. Sorry.
Oh my God.
But like when we were younger, it took us a lot longer to find things out.
Yes.
Love, heartache, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's right at their fingertips. They can get on Tinder. They can even watch Pornhub, and it's not.
Yeah.
They're not getting out and socializing and seeing how the real world operates and works.
So can I ask you a question, comrade? Do
Sure,
you
man.
think we're more divided than we was back in the 80s?
Oh
Do
man.
you think we're more divided today?
That's a talking out of two sides of my mouth. I think that everything's more accessible at our fingertips,
Yeah.
but we're not socializing and gathering. Because I remember
Yeah.
if my buddy got a busy signal on my telephone, he would just ride his bike over to my house and knock on the door. I know you're home.
Yeah.
These kids don't even have bikes anymore.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
But you know
They
what?
only have video games.
The difference is, so let me say this. So you get a 19, 20-year-old kid, and he tell a black kid, this white kid tells this black kid, why don't you go to this Luke Bryan concert with me? And the black kid go, he don't know nothing of the song that man singing. But if I take one of y'all to a Steve Perry or a Journey concert or a Def Leppard concert, black, white, Hispanic, everybody know them songs word for word. And that's because we were united then, man. It didn't care what color you was. If the music was good, you liked it.
Have you ever seen those? There's a couple people on social media and they're younger guys, and it's like them listening to a song for the first time, and they're like 18 or 19 years old, and they've never heard Aerosmith's "Love in an Elevator," and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is banging."
Yeah.
I think that there's a definite divide generationally.
There was
Yeah.
depth to music back then. It told a story and it,
Yeah.
Yes.
you know, and like another thing about hitting on the dating thing, it was a challenge. There was a story there. Now there's no fucking story. There's no challenge. It's, you know, as young men, it was, oh, I think that girl's hot. Of course, ultimately, boys think, I want to get her, you know, get her in bed or whatever, make out with her, get to second base. But if you got to second base when we were teenagers, hey, you know, now it's horrible. It's like, I want to see if I can get with 3 girls in a week. And
They're starting in
I'm going
like
to take my
5th
boy's
grade.
girlfriend. And yeah, and so young, the things that's happening and the things that these songs are promoting. I feel like from our parents to us, there's of course a huge change, and from their parents to them, but there's gaps, there are divides there. But then it's like things are changing within 3 to 5 years so drastically now, like, and it's not progress, it's regress. Like, it's sad and
agree.
it's scary.
And it's-
Like, I look at the society now and I'm like, when I'm in a nursing home, I don't want these kids taking care of me. Just
Do you
shoot
think
me.
the leap in distance between the generations is because of technology?
I do.
Yes, I do.
Definitely
I
do.
Definitely. And the industry with the music, the influence, because who's still doing R&B? Chris Brown,
Yeah.
Tank.
Not many. Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and so these kids, they don't learn about love, or they don't listen to love, or they can't feel it. You know, like us guys, our age, when a certain song come on, and you with your wife or your significant other, and you like, ooh, just a feeling come over you because you wanna take her home and make love to her. You know what I mean? And it's not like that no more. It's nowhere like that. I tell these kids this one thing, Conrad. I say, what y'all they have iPhones. I say, what your Apple playlist? What's your Apple playlist like? They'll go, and it's all rappers. All Yo Gotti, you know, all this. But me, I pull out, you ask me what mine is, I got country. My love song, my slow jams, 11 hours and 22 minutes.
90s R&B, baby making music.
Yeah.
Lord.
I mean, mine's a plethora. It ranges from some Tejano music to all the way up to old school R&B. I do like my outlaw country. I'll
Yeah.
listen to outlaw like.
I love 90s
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
music talk about love
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
relationships.
And life, real life.
Yeah,
shit.
real life shit, yeah.
I just, Teddy, what's your playlist look like? He loves Rush. This guy is a huge Rush fan.
Classic
Okay.
rock. Classic rock's big.
Classic
I
rock.
love
Yes.
classic rock.
Yes.
There's some R&B that I do
Yeah.
listen to. Country. You know, I'm like you guys. I would rather go back to late 80s into the 90s.
Yeah.
I'm 90s.
Now it's turned into it's country rock basically.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Country hip hop. too.
Country hip,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
that's
There's a
true.
lot. That's
And that-
Florida,
crossover.
Georgia line, that like type deal,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
You
that-
know, so do you, are you a big fan, either one of y'all big fan of the British invasion?
So like the Beatles, is that what you're talking about?
Well, it was more than them, you know,
Well,
it
I'm
was.
a big fan of Pink Floyd. I listen to a lot of Pink Floyd.
Okay.
the Beatles, the Stones, and all them
Yes.
back in the late 60s. That
Yeah.
yeah. See, I was 6 years old back then.
Okay.
Because you know, I'm old. That's like you guys were sitting here talking about, you know, these love songs back in the day and how people were getting together and hooking up now. I'm like, you know how I did it back in the day? If I wanted a girlfriend, I'd write it on a piece of paper and say, "Will you go with me?"
Hey, listen to him,
Hey, we was in that
He
generation.
chiseled that on a rock.
I
Yeah,
got a
through
husband for 19 years out of that. I did. That is how I asked my ex-husband out.
and
I
that-
said, will you be my boyfriend? Check yes or no. And this
And
son of a
that's-
bitch put maybe. He liked it. He married it.
Well,
See
see,
why he said maybe.
but then something else, you guys talk about, youngsters these days, it's like, well, I'm gonna see if I can do 3 this week, or
Yeah.
okay, back in my day, we knew who was doing who, and then okay, one of my buddies, he ended up with my girlfriend, so
Yeah.
I ended up with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it was all cool then back then. There
Yeah.
wasn't no fighting or nothing. And now
Yeah.
it's
It's
so
an unspoken upside down pineapple is what it sounds like.
Oh, you're like that.
it was a
Want to trade?
it was an unwritten code.
I like your thing, because now I'm going to do something. And I'm going to take a napkin, and I'm going to put, will you be mine? And then yes or no.
You tell me women's gonna pour a drink on it and laugh. Run! Oh, we're gonna scream, "Run, girl!"
Run.
Please.
Now that's how you write it. Will you be my?
Yeah.
Then you put a line there, and they got to fill it in.
Oh,
Let
That's
them fill
modern.
it in.
I like it.
Let them fill it in.
See, I'm here to rock that.
If it says acquaintance and then they slide it back over to you. You clearly want to be friends. That's an acquaintance.
No, I'm ready to commit battery, then. I'm ready to fight.
It's so bad nowadays. One of Ed's friends keeps telling him, "Oh, I like her," and I'm like, "Tell him I got a man. Tell him I got a girl for all I give a shit. Just tell him I'm taken. I don't have no interest. I don't give a tell him I'm celibate. A nun. I'm a nun." But that wouldn't work. Anyway,
it wouldn't.
I got come face to face with him, and I said, "I have a boyfriend," and he was like, "Oh, it's okay." I said, "Oh, so you just be a side piece?" And he's like, "I'm okay with that," and I'm like,
See?
"What's that tell me?" Like,
See?
this is our society today.
That's right there's another podcast right there. Let's talk about swears.
I'm like, that's not me. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
I can't do that either. That's I love my wife, and
No, and I was just like, you're okay with that, and that's how
It's-
that just shows the respect a man has a woman. But you know how many women would respond? like, really?
Yes, yeah.
I'm going to be real honest. I am a jealous person. I
Yeah.
see a lot of people that are, I'm not jealous. Well, I
I'm
am.
jealous. Yeah,
I'm like, hey, listen, you're getting too comfortable.
yeah,
It's time,
yeah.
And when a girl says he's just my friend, she doesn't know he is not really her friend. He's waiting for that door to open.
Really, Ed? This door is shut with a padlock on it, just so you know.
I would say there's certain exceptions.
Next.
But you say he's
like,
just a friend.
Don't sit on
When you
I have
say-
more guy friends than I do girlfriends.
I do too, but I honestly, some of them I know the minute I would be like, they would. I know that, but because I know who I am, and I know I'm really good with boundaries, I'm a bitch. If someone tries to cross that boundary and they know that I've made that boundary, then I'm gonna be nasty about it, and then they're gonna lose a good friend. So, she's the same way. She makes it abundantly clear. Very recently did that too, so yeah.
But now I want to jump back just a little bit, because I like what you said earlier. You're going to put out in public what you want to put out because you're not scared.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's just like, okay, the news is on the TV right now.
yeah.
You say, well, we're going to get our news. Okay, what are they? They're actors, right?
Yeah.
They're doing what that
Yeah.
television
And
station
they're
tells them to
controlled.
cover. Yes,
They're controlled.
we're not.
And we're not controlled.
And people like that.
I tell people,
Exactly.
a lot of people know that. I've had people hit me up and say, hey, I heard such and such got in touch with you. Those allegations are false. I've been threatened we'll file a lawsuit against you. Or can
Has
you
anybody
please-"
filed one yet?
No.
Not yet.
They went and seen attorneys.
Yeah.
And the attorneys contacted the attorney I have. And, I teach the ladies here how we walk. Because we don't go on there and put BS. If we cover the story, she doing her homework, Angela doing her homework, and I'm doing mine. And then we go off of the facts. What we found. the evidence, and then we present that on the podcast.
And then we put our opinion.
Yeah, which we're entitled to.
opinionated.
So,
Yeah.
we discuss it. We put out what we've heard, what someone has come to us with, because we have a lot of people. Hey, will you discuss this? And then it's frustrating sometimes because I'm like, yeah, call in, disguise your voice, or have someone call in and you tell them what to say, but call in and intermingle with us and discuss it and bring more out. And, okay. They won't.
No.
So we're just left to go with it, and like I said, we're all three opinionated. So
I like that you take in the calls and you want to hear everybody else.
yeah, and we encourage that. We're like, send a text, send it anonymous, and sometimes people do. For some reason, people are less scared of me than him. They'll message me. They're like, I want to tell you.
Petty Eddie.
You
Yeah.
got a point.
People ask me, like, aren't you afraid, like, you're going to piss him off one of these days? And I'm like, fuck
She's
no.
already did.
I'll burn his house down. I ain't scared.
Well, that's a great segue into us discussing, we've had similar guests. And dealt with some similar topics. So we had the no solar people,
Yeah.
Dallas Street and KFC.
Yeah.
You guys
Great
did
guys,
too, right?
great guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And the story they had to tell was probably our big. Those two podcasts were because we did a part 1 and part 2 with them.
Yeah.
Were our biggest podcasts that we had.
Yes,
And
I watched
The-
them both, yeah.
the level of outcry for this no solar was so I didn't because I would see it a sign
Me
once in a while,
too.
but I didn't
No
I
clue.
didn't grasp how
Right.
big.
Yeah, how deep-
And how
Yeah.
it would affect all of us.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one day I'm driving, like we're gearing up to have them on for the first time. I'm driving my golf cart out in the country, and there's nothing like Indiana in July and the corn. And you're out in the country, and it's just a blue sky.
Yeah.
Cloud dotted sky with corn on each side of you, and it's like peaceful.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, if these guys don't win this election, it's not going to look like this.
Yeah.
It's going to change the landscape. And there was a part of me that was like, well, they're also, it's going to tell these farmers, what they can do with their land and what they can't do. I was torn. But to think that I would drive down a country road and it be solar panels
Yeah.
over corn, I think the outcome of the election was meant to be.
Definitely.
absolutely. As it should have been,
We invited Steve Wright on, because we wanted to hear both sides.
I'm gonna tell you, Steve Wright, he wasn't gonna do it. He a coward. He used to be on the city council. He did a lot of stuff on there.
Hold on, Petty. I just want to make this. Any comments Petty Eddie makes is. I got this is a disclaimer.
Yeah,
This is Petty Eddie, so.
this is all me,
Yeah.
me only, not garage talk, but this is me talking. Steve Wright, he used to be on city council. He wasn't a fair person at all. He was just for the industry, for himself, and that's it. And when this all come about the solar,
Yeah.
I'm like you, I'm seeing signs, but I'm not knowing. Then somebody contact me and say, hey, we need your help. And like always, we always get calls and people stopping us. And I says, okay, I'll give you time. What's up? And when they got done talking, I called Angela. I said, okay, so we got an issue. And then I talked to Brooke, and then, we put it together and we ran with it. And so many people. There was this old lady that called me. She was so sweet. And she got the number from the call-in that you see at the ticker.
Yeah.
And we talked for like a half hour. And she talked about how she's a farmer's wife, but her husband died. And she talked about how proud that she was of me and the young ladies and the job that we did. And I felt good. And when I got to meet Dallas and all them and some of those big wigs, and Conrad, I ended up in court. She'll tell you, we'll get to that in a minute. But I did a live video defending Dallas and the other.
Oh, I see.
Kale,
Yeah.
Kale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we seen it.
I did the live video and I went off. And so Steve Wright and all those guys seen it. And so that's when an individual, he decided, the one that made the threat, that he's gonna take me to court. So he filed a no contact order on me, which I've had 7 of those, by the way.
How many?
I had 7.
Was that the one that, because you made a comment about his wife?
Yes. Yeah,
You had 7?
I had 7 filed against me because of the podcast.
How
right?
many did they go follow through with? Did they get?
None.
0.
I'm 7-0 right now. 7-0.
Yeah,
It's a bunch of
knock on wood.
crybabies.
Yes, yes. I represented myself on every one, and you know, she was with me on the last one, and Angela was somewhere with her granddaughter or something, and so Brooke went with me, and we went in there, and Judge, all right, well, he ain't here, so dismissed.
And I go to court all the time for evictions, and they have to give them 15 minutes. And we walked in there at like whatever time it was, 3:08, and he said, he's not here? Okay, it's over. I'm like, you're not gonna give him the 15 minutes?
No, I told her,
He knew it
let's
was
go.
he knew it was a joke.
Yeah, I told her, let's go. But you know, man, when I meet you and you become a friend of mine, I guess people don't realize what friends are.
You're very
Because
loyal.
I'm a loyal person. When you my buddy, when you my friend, I'm loyal.
He
And
is.
I will do whatever I can to protect you, whether it's with these fists or whatever, I got to protect you. Like both of these women. You know, I've had problems in the past with people that thought they was gonna get over on them. Now I got to get involved because when they hurt, I hurt.
Okay.
And so when you mess with them, now I got to come out. And so people ask me, "You gonna end up back to Brooklyn?" Well, you never know. If I do, it's
He's
gonna
got
be
some good
because-
pen pals.
It's gonna be because of one of these two. It's gonna be because of one of these two.
So,
But
are
seriously,
you telling me you're gonna have money on your books?
Yeah, we'll definitely take care of him. Yeah, he gonna eat good in
That's
there.
how you good.
I'll stand downstairs with a sign saying, "Hi, dipshit," with a heart.
But you know, I'm just
Yeah.
that guy. And so, you know, it's just like you got a close friend or something, and somebody bothers them or whatever, you're gonna feel some type of way. And so
Yeah.
now that you're gonna become enemies with that person because you're defending your friend.
Yeah.
And people just forget what friends are for.
What loyalty is
What
for,
loyalty
yeah.
is. And you know, I don't wake up and say, "Oh well, let me go see if I can what kind of
Piss somebody
things
off
I can
today."
Piss somebody off." I don't wake up like that. First thing that's on my mind when I wake up is thank you God, and
He's waiting for that call
who's gonna
for
spend the
me.
night? Who's gonna spend the night with me tonight?
Who's the victim?
He's waiting for that morning
Who's the
call
next victim to be disappointed?
to say, Ed,
Would you stop?
every morning.
You just embarrassed me.
In your purple painted room.
So, I know you guys all care about the youth of the community. You know, Grant County as a whole, you know, everybody's had their ups and downs. And it seems like right now, Marion Community Schools is, I feel like they're trying to right some wrongs, but, you know,
It's a hot mess.
I guess, like, I'm trying to word it in a good way.
It's a shit
Well,
show.
so I'll say it like this. What's good for Oak Hill is good for Marion. What's good for Marion is good for Mrs. Cinewall. What's good for Mrs. Cinewall? So, because nowadays, we share students. We got kids from Marion.
But
Going to Mrs. Cinewall.
why do you think they're coming over here to Miss Cinewall? Why?
Well, I'm going to be, this is just my opinion.
Okay.
Mrs. Cinewall's educational system right now is, I'm pretty certain it's the best in the county.
Yes. That's
We
shocking.
graduated. I'm wanting to say, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I do have those numbers. almost 46% or 47% of the kids that graduated last year, or the class of 2024,
Yeah.
was was honors. We had 3 kids graduate with their associate's degrees.
That's
We
wonderful.
had 1 kid graduate as a licensed practicing nurse.
Wow.
As a high school.
Oh, yeah.
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 Rice Jr.
Justin.
Yeah.
Juju.
Justin.
Juju.
Juju.
Yeah,
Juju.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's,
Yeah,
yeah.
but you know, let me say this, comrade. I'm just gonna keep.
But
it.
it's not easy. It's not easy to do that.
No.
But it's not. But you know, Miss Cinnamon have a good system. In
They give you the tools to make it possible.
well, the first of all, the teachers there care.
Yes, I've
Let's be clear.
I've
The
dealt with the
teachers at Miss
kids.
Cinnamon care. Okay, the staff care.
Yeah.
And they really, they're not there to just say, oh, you can't read or write, we're gonna pass you on. They don't do that over there at Miss Cinnamon.
Yeah.
They identify it, call you in and say, your son is in the 6th grade, he can't even read on a kindergarten level.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to fix this before we move on. I know this for a fact because my youngest son did his entire Miss Enwall school here in Miss Enwall. And he was a big basketball player, one of the Twin Towers, I think they call him. And he had a good career over here. He knows how to read, he knows how to write, and he knows how to fill out an application. And great kid. But Marion, they're so worried about, I'm gonna hire my daughter, I'm gonna hire her boo. Not her boyfriend, not her fiance, but her boo.
Her live-in.
Yeah, and they're gonna hire them, give them, they're not qualified, but I'm gonna give them a job. Because it's making it easier in my life to bring them in. So when you get all of this in, the people that suffer are the students.
Yes.
And when I talk to the people in Marion Community Schools, I said, it's not about me, the podcast, it's about the kids.
It's about those kids. And then the teachers that do care, the ones that are showing up every day because they want to teach, because it sure is not for the pay, because
Right.
That's
Yeah.
true.
you couldn't pay me enough to teach nowadays.
You gotta
But-
love that stuff.
Yeah, you have to have that heart or you'll never be successful. But the ones that are still going and struggling through it, now they're not only dealing with the struggles with the kids of today's society, they're dealing with the peer pressure of their coworkers and who's who and who's, you know,
Well, let me
who-
share something real fast, because there's a big misconception about Mississippi kids. I think it's between 68 and 70% of the kids that go to Mississippi are on free and reduced lunch. And I think it's like 30% of those kids don't live with a parent. They
wow.
live with grandma and grandpa. And I'm going to share this with you.
Yeah.
I was one of those kids.
Yeah.
I lived with my grandmother. I was on free and reduced lunch. And I was on it in a time where we didn't have computers. The lunch lady would say, free or reduced.
I know, I
Wow.
hated that shit. Me
Yep.
too.
But
Yep.
when I got to high school, we had a great lunch lady. She just would look at me.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter that the kid behind me, who was a close friend of mine, he was on free and reduced too. It was
Yeah.
still embarrassing.
Exactly.
But I mean, Mrs. Sinowal has worked very hard, and I've been blessed enough to witness it. Very hard to meet these kids where they are and to show them that they're more than where they are.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, when my kids went to school, they never called me to tell me my kids weren't in school, not going to school, failing school. They weren't calling and telling me any of that. They weren't working with me. I wasn't one of those parents, though, that got involved. But, like, my stepdaughter went to Miss Sinowal, and about 2 years ago, I went just to pick her up because she got in trouble. And I didn't know what I was getting into. They took me into the office. They cared. They talked. What can we do? You know, and they really cared.
Yeah.
They showed it 100%. My kid, 3 kids graduated from Marion Community Schools, and never did I ever interact with any teachers or any principal or anything.
Probably didn't even know who they were.
Nope.
It's crazy.
So I think there's a couple people running for school board.
Yes.
I'm
And
so
I think-
about Delgado.
I do,
Delgado.
hey, I'm
Definitely
telling you right
Gabe
now, I
Delgado.
do know one Marion school board member, and he wants it the way it, it used to be. He is a, actually he's my brother-in-law, but he expects the same thing. He wants these kids to learn something, to leave Marion ready to compete with the world, not with
Yes.
Grant County.
The world.
Just like how we look at the Mississinawa kids.
Yeah.
We're not having these kids compete with Eastbrook or Oak Hill. It's the world they need to compete with. So,
Is that Gabe?
no,
Oh,
Chuck Griffin.
Okay.
He's a Marion graduate. But Delgado, I got to sit and talk with him. I actually knew him from back in the day when we were young. He's a stand-up guy.
oh
Yes, he
yes.
is. Yes.
He coached a lot of my son in a lot of different sports. He's great. He's very great. He's good with the kids and he cares.
He is. Yep.
So let's switch gears now. How in the heck do you guys delegate each other's duties on the podcast?
We don't.
You don't? You just let
We
it
just
flow,
go.
the chemistry.
Yeah.
Well,
We're together all day, every day.
Well, tell me right now, who's the brain trust that comes up with some of these topics?
Dumb shit. And I mean,
Okay.
We just go in and say, what's it about today? Or he'll post it early on
and
Facebook.
we're texting each other, what's it about tonight? She's like, girl, I think you posted whatever. And I'm like, oh, hell. Or yes, because, yeah.
We know what alcohol beverage to bring by knowing by what the topic is about.
Okay.
Really?
So, the thing is, we are making some changes. We're going to have more stuff where one of the things that I can say right now is we're going to have the local tea with Brooke, and Brooke's going to take a few minutes to introduce what's going on in Chronicle, what's going on this podcast, or what's going on. And
Who's beefing on Facebook?
Yes, and what's going on, and we briefly talk about it real quick and this and that, and,
Where's the beef?
yeah,
You know what?
yeah.
I miss the early days of Facebook when people would just be going back at each other because that meme of Michael Jackson eating the popcorn, that was me. I was like, hey,
Right.
I need a bag of popcorn.
Right?
Hey, when I hit that live button, when I'm mad about something, when I don't have it with me, I'm just me.
And I'm usually texting him saying, shut,
You know,
shut,
and
shut.
she's drove to the house.
I have.
And I'll be live, and I'll be.
I'm like,
I'll
shut
be
it
letting
off.
go. I'll just air it out, and everybody's like you saying, and I'm just sitting here eating popcorn and watching the show. Watching
All of a
the
sudden you
comments.
hear tires screeching from her
Exactly.
brain.
And you hear
That's
me,
happened
shut
several
up,
times.
shut it off, shut it off now, shut it off.
I'll hear a car ramp the railroad tracks and it's her. And so,
I slow down.
so,
Okay. Some of the controversial stuff that you guys get into.
We all research, so if we know what it's about,
Okay.
we're all research, but we don't, we just get on there.
So you find it on social media or
Talking
you say
to
people
people,
come to you and talk
social
to you
media,
about stuff. and-
anything.
So
Yeah,
if
like
you think it,
contact one of them or me. Let me tell you, putting the camera on me to go to Walmart is something different. Because when I'm going to Walmart, I can get there at 5 p.m. Stop. I can get there at 5 p.m. and not leave until 7 or 8.
wow.
Because people are
You're stopping and
constantly
talking.
stopping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So when I want to have that time to where I don't want to be bothered with nobody, I'll go real early in the morning.
Yep.
And that way I can just get in there and get out. And there's a lot of good topics.
Yes, yes.
Ed,
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about this. And, I just got hit with one earlier, and I'm like, wow, guys like, hey, I talked to the mayor last night, Ed, I'm coming to you now. And so people, they confide in us, and because one thing about it, I'm not no bullshit. I may be an asshole,
Yeah.
but I ain't no bullshit.
Like the high school situation when we were discussing that, a lot of what I went in depth about talking is what I experienced when my kids were there. And I had a lot of inboxes when I addressed the head coach. That's my opinion. I don't like his ass. Never will like
Okay.
his ass. I can sit here and give an opinion of him, but I didn't. I said it right to him, and I've also
What if
said
he
it.
resuscitates you?
I'd rather him let me go. Let me go. Yeah. No, he is a really
Okay.
very. He's not a good human being, and to be in the position that he's in, I'm shocked that he's there. It's who you know or who you blow at that high school nowadays. That's definitely. Is he gifted? Is he a decent coach? Yes, he's a decent coach. Morally, he's a shit human being.
I don't think he's a good coach.
He doesn't choose these kids. Again, it's who you know, who's got the connects. He picks and chooses, and God forbid anybody outshine his own children. And that's evident to his friends, everybody. I didn't deal with him on a coaching level. Neither of my kids played basketball. But, I mean, he was literally like, I spoke in depth on him because I have said everything I said on the podcast, I have said right to his face. Like, I
Okay.
literally looked at him and said, I'm not your ordinary white woman. Don't act like you're going to intimidate me because I am not the one.
Yep.
Just because you stand up and tower over me. And I had so many inbox like, really? You said that to me? I'm like, yes. And I would have never said it on the podcast if I hadn't.
Right.
And he knows that.
And he was looking for it.
He knew it was coming. He was like, oh, it's this
looking for it.
bitch.
He was trying to find out where he's living. If he'd have gave me the money that he offered, that I would have told her she's nice to joke.
I'm sitting here like, what?
No, but I had a lot of people hit me up like,
Yeah.
man, your girl Angela went in on him.
Yeah.
You do know the black community gonna come back on you for that.
I didn't give a shit.
But they talking about me, and they
Yeah.
was like, Ed, they getting backfire. Me and his mother, we was at a viewing or something, and we went off to the side and we talked. And I told her, I said, your son is in the spotlight. He's a head coach. He's gonna get criticized. He's gonna get the thumbs up on stuff. We all get criticized. So I said, a little criticism don't hurt. That was her opinion. She had a situation dealing with her son. Well, I don't, me and my family don't like her remarks or whatever, but I had to let her know. I stand by my co-host and what she said. And that's that.
In my feedback, I had one white person tell me, you go, girl, and the rest were all black folks that in a normal setting would probably be sitting right there rooting him on, but they don't want to do, they don't have my cojones, I guess.
Yep.
Let me tell you,
They-
during the games, there was a lot of black people talking about him in the
Yeah.
older black ladies and families with their
He's
kids out
wrong
there
for that shit.
talking about
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
And
So,
when I went up to the high school and they had that school board meeting here a couple months ago, you should have seen the black families out there that was talking about.
Oh,
Michael
yeah,
Jordan.
yeah.
They were players' families,
That-
and
yep.
their moms and their dads, and they was out there really bad. And I was like, man, it's gonna get set off out here.
I would sit in I had what is that, season tickets when Omari played, and
Yeah.
you
all
know-
them families all sat around me and they all sat there and complained.
No matter what we do in life, somebody's going to disagree, someone's going to have their own opinion. And I have to respect their opinion and their belief, but I expect them to do the same for me. So when they do come at me, I've had people pissed and be like, you need to watch what you say. You need to stay over there because I'm going to say whatever the hell I want to say, but I also want to know what you feel.
Yeah.
Don't just tell me to stay over here and say, in my business. I want to know how you feel. And we've had full conversations where I've been enlightened some, they've been enlightened some, and we are fine. We talk it out, but they're entitled to their opinion. What they're not entitled to is to shut my mouth because I'm entitled to mine. So that's what I try to remind people. And I've not had anyone not come around after we have that conversation, but it all is because I want to hear their opinion too. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they know something I don't know. Now on the James Blackman, that's my experience, so that nothing's going to sway me on that. But in certain instances, come tell me what you feel. And I thought, he's given me different views of stuff, and I thought, oh, I need to shut up. I need to think before I talk on this more. But that's what I like about our podcast is we get in there sometimes, and I'll say my opinion sometimes, and Brooke will say, well, I kind of disagree. I feel, and then it gets me thinking a different way. So that's why I like the three of us, because especially me and Ed, like we used to have a podcast called Two Sides of Affinity, not Infinity, Affinity, because it was all about disagreeing. And we wanted to get two opinions of, and what better is to have a black man and a white woman and two different genres, like we're going back and forth. People enjoy that, and the disagreeing constructively, per se, it really is what people like to hear. And like I've said, do you guys have people call in live and ask questions?
We
and things like
haven't
that?
yet. We're actually trying out the live, like right
Yeah.
now we're live. Because we do want people to.
I love it.
If we have a guest who has something really interesting to our viewer,
Yeah.
they want to ask a question, we're encouraging. Ask the
Yeah,
question.
Ask the question.
that's what we want. Yeah, we want them to call in, or even,
Interact.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
community. We
I want to be an inclusive podcast.
for sure,
Yes, absolutely,
for sure.
absolutely. You said
You guys don't go Facebook Live though, do you?
No. More because I've seen some podcasts get shut down for what Facebook thought or deemed.
Stuff like Ed
Well,
says.
yeah,
They leave us alone.
they leave.
But it is Petty Eddie.
Yeah.
I stay at Facebook. Yeah.
That's probably because we're going, stop it, stop it. I want a shot collar. I don't know if you've heard me discuss that on
For him?
For him.
oh,
How amazing would that be? And then also, we can make money and donate to some kind of a charity.
That would be
If
a
people
good
wanted to
episode.
send $5 in, I was happy
the-
one time.
Yeah. Hey.
They're only like
Animal shelter
$86
on,
on Amazon.
Is it Miller?
Yeah.
Miller is the one that they don't euthanize the dogs.
Yeah, all I need is a shot collar, or like a cattle prod. Does it?
Listen,
Oh.
I'm just going to share this with you right now. My dog, I got a Belgian Malinois. She's high, man. High,
Oh
high
God!
energy.
Thank you,
That's what he
Conrad.
wants.
Calm yourself. Calm yourself. Calm yourself, Edward. That's what he's crying
High
for.
motor. I got a walker like 5 miles a day or she'll pace
Where's she
all
at?
day.
Where's she
She's at my house. JoJo, beautiful, great dog. And my like.
He wants to
So
start
I
breeding
have a
them.
shock collar for her, but it's not for like correction or discipline.
Yeah.
It's more like if she sees a squirrel at my house, she sees a squirrel in the yard, she's protecting the yard,
Yeah.
and she'll chase that thing down. And I have to give her a little buzz.
Yeah.
But one day I had it in my hand and I was half asleep before I had my first cup of coffee. I got the controller and I forgot that I turned it on. I had it in my hand like this. And I hit that button and I kind of locked up. I was like, oh, geez, that's got some spunk to it. And I did it again, but because I'm a man,
Yeah.
I didn't learn the first time.
So what you're saying is we could come over and try it on Ed?
No.
What I'm saying is,
I
that
have
would make
a,
great
stun gun.
podcast.
No. So a side note,
Yeah.
you got a wonderful dog.
Yeah.
I just was told that
Here we go.
today I had to come up with $3,000. I found one in Denver. I've been everywhere looking for. I can't find a puppy.
Blue Line Kennel in Ohio. That's where I got JoJo.
Well, I'm gonna get that information before I leave.
It's on Facebook.
I'm gonna make sure you give it to me.
Yep.
I'm not going nowhere until I get it.
Now, listen.
I want me one.
I'm just gonna share this. The first 8 months that I had that dog was hell.
Yeah.
I had to really YouTube everything and work with her because that dog took 3-minute naps and would pace the house like she was already guarding it.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my gosh, man.
And you don't have nowhere for her to run.
Well, no.
So between-
you know, here's
Hey,
the
but you
thing.
know what? He's gonna lose 30 pounds.
I was gonna say between the
Because
three
he's
of
gonna
our
have to
big
walk.
asses, maybe we
Yeah.
need to get this dog and
No,
split
you
it.
know, I know how to train dogs.
You take Monday.
So, I'll be fine.
Your dogs hump pillows and sit and scratch themselves and do whatever. You don't train them dogs.
Well,
No, them are small dogs.
This
You don't
dog's
train-
gonna walk your ass.
You don't train little Shih Tzus or nothing like that. This dog, I'm getting this dog strictly to protect the house.
I'm
My
telling you right
dad
now,
sits outside.
that's what'll happen
I
too.
worry about him.
Yeah.
Sitting outside, I'm like, Dad, there's drug addicts coming up and down the street. I live in a bad neighborhood. I'll say, hey, Pop, why don't you come on in? Lester Hope here and come on. And he'll be like, well, I think I'm going to pass on Lester Hope.
He just
Like,
called Lester Holt.
Lester Holt.
and,
Dateline.
and so he
I
he'll
didn't
go
even
and stay
know.
outside, you know, and I'm like, man. So I thought, okay. I looked up and I found the Belgians. I said, I'm going to get me a girl, train her, get her right. You stay right there with
Be
Dad.
the first female
Because
you
I
ever could
know
train.
That she won't let nobody touch my pops. That I know for a fact.
So the minute I get, so I got Deanna, my wife, Savannah, my oldest daughter, Jersey, and the baby Naya.
Okay?
The only female happy to see me when I walk through that door
It's the dog. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
They all could, I mean, they're all like, Tim, hey. But the dog's like, Conrad's here, guys. And that
Hey,
makes
my
me-
hero.
And I'll sit down in the mornings and have a cup of coffee, and she'll sit by the recliner. I mean, I don't take 2 steps and she's not right behind me. She follows me wherever I go.
Aw.
they're
Very
great
loyal dogs.
Very loyal.
Yeah,
loyal.
very loyal.
Yeah.
Very loyal. But so when you guys follow through after a podcast, have you guys ever thought, man, that was either a really good podcast or tomorrow we're gonna catch some heat?
No, we always know we're gonna catch heat.
Are you going after the heat though?
Usually
Not
when
always.
everything's said and done and the cameras are off, I throw the mic down and I'm like, I'm gonna pick you up. Like, I'm done with you. Look, he's grinning because he knows. Like, did you really have to talk about that in depth? And you could probably figure what I'm talking about. There's certain things. Or now it's gotten to where Brooke has my back. The other girl that was on the podcast just kind of went with it. Brooke and I both go, like our nose flare, like, you know, when your mom's mad, and our one eye twitches, and he kind of goes, okay, and he changes it up. So I think we're getting our Belgian trained a little bit. Shot collar would have been better
It
though.
takes a long time to train males.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of trial and error. I've just now figured out to wipe my feet before I enter the house. But anyways, we want to say thank you so much. We enjoy your podcast. It's very entertaining.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for
everybody
having us.
check
We
out-
enjoy you guys as
Hey,
well.
thank you. Check out Ed Bounds Live After Dark. It doesn't disappoint. Sometimes it might get you worked up,
It might shock you
but
sometimes.
it's all entertainment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm gonna make you laugh, or I'm gonna make you pissed off, either one.
Make you
It-
laugh, make you cry, make you mad.
It's
Yeah.
your opinion.
Something.
Something.
And you guys are like us.
Yeah.
We all got broad shoulders. You
Yeah,
like me, you
that's
like me.
exactly.
You
I've got
don't, you
seriously
don't.
thick skin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
Yes. And that's what, you know, I noticed with you guys and, you know, looking at your episodes and things like that. And because I like what y'all going to the restaurants and with the
Yeah.
contest. I love that, man. That is huge. And I think that was a great idea because we got a lot of good food in Grant County.
Oh,
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of people don't know about.
Yeah.
You know, and I like that you
Neon
guys are
moon.
bringing that awareness because we like food, all 3 of us, you know.
And that's,
Well,
Obviously.
it was a,
We chunking.
Me too.
We chunking. If you ever need a taste tester, call me.
Well, I'll tell you right now. I've got one of my childhood friends, one of the pickiest eaters in the world, and he's actually he's hilarious. Like just him, and he's not being joking. He has no filter. He just comments what he comments, and that's you just gotta take him that way. And I was like, Teddy, he's got to be one of our judges. But you know, we love spotlighting great things in our county,
Yeah.
And we're gonna reach out to Central Indiana eventually, but
Well, great job on the
Have-
Neon Moon.
Oh my
The
God,
Neon
that
Moon.
is my favorite place to eat. Dude,
Neon
everything.
Moon.
Look,
their
pizza,
pizza, their boneless
Oh.
wings is good.
all of it's good. I have not found
Their
anything.
salads.
Actually,
Yeah.
I haven't had
really-
a salad.
Do y'all
Do I
wanna-
look like I have salads?
Hey, it was good.
I think
It was worth it.
we have it before the meal. We have the meal.
No, I just had the salad that day, and it was remember?
You know what
It
the
was
best
good.
at the Neon Moon?
What?
Do you know what the best is?
The pizza?
The waitress.
Uh,
Which one?
Wait, Sheila.
that's my baby cousin.
Chris,
That's my little cousin.
Chris, don't
Her
forget
and my
about
daughter.
Chris.
Her and my
Yeah,
daughter.
Chris too. I put a baby in her too.
What's your daughter's name?
Brittany T. Meyer. Her and
Brittany
Sheena
Williams.
were great.
Brittany I
were
know
great
her.
friends.
Yeah, I remember. Okay.
Yeah.
I see it in your eyes now.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
but that's, and like Conrad said, it's neat to go in these places,
Yeah.
and we'll tell them, hey, we're going to do this. Would you guys be willing to participate? It's great getting to know the owners and the
Yes,
employees, and
that's
it's
the
just,
other thing, y'all.
We
like
weighed
you
those
said,
burgers.
let's go.
Oh,
Grants?
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we weighed. Grants was almost 12 ounces.
Well, Grant's then let somebody else take over, so Grant's not even running that anymore.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Well, when we had it,
They bought the
At halftime,
downtown
we were like,
Los Amores.
man,
forgot.
I don't think, and we hadn't tried Neon Moons yet. Mm-hmm. We were like, man, it's gonna be hard to beat Grants. And Grants was, I mean, it was
Yeah.
so good.
Yes.
So I was impressed.
Yeah.
I was impressed. And then Neon Moon said, hold my beer.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yes, they
And
did.
it
Yeah.
was a slim margin, but the Neon Moon pulled it off, and we were happy to bring them a trophy or a plaque. And
Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
well deserved.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
y'all should, yeah.
Don's Tap, Grant's
Yeah.
Place, Don's Tap.
Poorhouse got a good one.
What'd you eat
Poorhouse.
at Don's
Yeah.
Tap? The fish or
Fish.
No, their wings.
the wings? Okay.
Their wings.
I haven't had
They're bone-in wings.
Yes.
Okay.
They're bone-in
Bone
wings.
ends.
The bone-ins.
I always get their
warm.
fish. I haven't
Yeah.
been there forever.
Yeah, we haven't been there, but
We
haven't
need to
been
check
there.
it out. I'm telling
It's
you
been
right now,
remodeled
they're
and totally
they're
revamped.
twice
It's-
baked potato.
No. Yeah.
I'm a
I
sides
never
guy.
ate that. I
I'm,
never-
I'm
Oh,
a
man.
sides guy. I like macaroni and
Me too.
green beans, twice baked potato.
Yeah.
That twice baked potato, I was like, man, that just pairs really good with
Uh-huh.
your steak.
And you know what about Don's Tap? Because it's been about almost a year, not even a year since me and Dad ate there. The one thing I like about them, Neon Moon, and there's some others I'm probably forgetting. I like the customer service. I love the energy from the people that work there. You know,
Yeah.
they
Green olive.
green
And
olive.
I know Neon Moon, Stephanie would not tolerate unless people are being treated like family there.
Oh, and she jumps right in and helps.
Yeah, she
Yes,
does. She busts
yes.
her butt, and she's so
Get
much
in,
fun.
yes,
And
yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like going there. Let's see, in the last 48 hours, I've been there 3 times for food.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did y'all want to tell them about what I did with Stephanie?
Not RP's, but Bob's Bar, which is owned by the owner of
Yes.
RP's.
Yeah.
Bob's Bar. Which
That-
you
they've
wouldn't
got a good
think.
burger, too.
They've
I
got
haven't
a
been in
solid
there. Very good.
pub burger.
Okay.
Really?
They've got a solid pub
I'm
burger.
From the new owners?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Roy Pena?
Yeah.
Pena?
So, you want to tell them about, the other day we was in there and Stephanie, we called Stephanie in there, Chastity's going away party.
Oh, yeah, we had a little going away party for my best friend that was in from Florida. She'd been here a couple weeks, and she was going back home, and so we all gathered up there, and it seemed like it took, I didn't notice it. But the reason being, she comped our whole meal, all of us ate. And
Wow.
Stephanie, she come out, she was like, your bill was taken care of. And I said, who did that? And she was like, I can't tell you. And before I walked out, looked at Stephanie, and she was like, you know, she's just that nice. She felt like that it had taken a little long because she only had one girl serving. It didn't. It was still Johnny on the spot, you know,
Well,
so.
I was speaking of the petty drink.
Oh,
Lord.
There's
don't
a new
nobody want
petty
anything
drink.
named after
Yeah,
you.
Yes, they do.
It's a
new-
jinx.
It's a
It's a
new
jinx.
drink. Stephanie, the owner.
I don't know why you didn't go with
she
something
put her
called
blessing-
petty piss
she
like
put
you
her
used to.
blessings on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's not on the menu.
It's
Oh,
still
it's
a
an
blackberry
off-brand.
lemonade.
I
It's still a
guarantee
blackberry
you,
lemonade.
If you go in.
It is not a black man lemonade, it's a blackberry lemonade.
Go into the Neon Moon and say, I want the Petty Eddie drink, and they'll know exactly what you're talking
They'll
about.
give you a plain ass glass of water.
There's no lemon in it?
He was trying to get her to rename a drink, the blackberry lemonade, to Petty Eddie. He needs to
It's
create something.
Blackberry Crown with lemonade
Yep.
and a pinch of pettiness. If you drink 2 of them, you will become petty.
But what happens if they sprinkle too much petty in there, man?
Oh, then I can't come by you out of jail.
Full of
Let me just
petty?
say though, he's very welcoming if he does bond you out of jail when you walk out of that door. He'll say, "Welcome home." I don't know how I know that, but I'm just saying it.
Yeah, because I had to go by out.
Because she's on parole.
So if you go in there, is there
Am
any
not.
parting gifts?
No,
Extra boxers and some socks?
no, it's just pettiness. It's just petty love.
Yeah.
And then I got a new fragrance called Petty P coming out.
Oh my God, shut
Petty
Cut this
P.
off.
Hey, P?
You know what? I like petty love, man.
Yeah, see?
You know, it
Yeah.
reminds me of one of my nicknames I give you, Teddy Love. It's Teddy Love. You guys are brothers.
There you go.
See?
Hey, I see the resemblance. Wait a minute. Take your glasses off.
No, hush.
I see it.
But
One day you gonna call me Puerto Rican, now you gonna call me white.
Tell me he don't look more Puerto Rican than he does black.
Oh, gosh, hush.
Oh, wait.
He's got that peanut butter color. He ain't black. He's a
He's gotten
poser.
darker though lately.
Yeah, he's been out by the pool.
now, since we've been speaking about, bar and grills and pubs and stuff, you guys are from Marion, right? So what's going on with the place they're trying to put in down there at the old donut shop by the bridge?
I have no idea. It's just sat there.
Why
It
is
looks
it-
so good. It looks like it's ready to open. It's
I
sat
didn't
for
know if you guys
months.
had the
I heard
inside
some of the
information.
bathrooms or something.
Well, they get ready all down there, they call it the
River.
Riverfront District.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not feeling it. I talked to County Council, not Ron, but Poland,
Yeah. Chuck Paul.
Oh.
Chuck Poland, and, I just voiced my opinion, because I do know the city was wanting money from the county to move forward with that, and
They're against
I
it.
know that Chuck Poland is very conservative, him and James Middlesworth,
Yep.
on how they use money. And so, I asked him, is this really important?
I feel it is.
I just feel it is.
I feel it is because
You think the River District is
I feel
support?
like something to bring. It's so blasé. We have nothing in town to do, to walk through or anything. I spent one day last week going to Kokomo. Simple as going to Kokomo. Walked through Sam's Club. Went to a couple thrift stores, and then we had lunch downtown and walked around and drove around. And the downtown
It's
area
nice.
in Kokomo is
Nice.
freaking beautiful.
It is,
I
yeah.
was so shocked, and they have these massive hanging baskets for miles upon miles, down Sycamore and everything, and I was so impressed. I'm like, this is Kokomo. Granted, they have Chrysler, they have that money coming in there, but we could do something, and I kept telling myself, well, we got the River District coming, and
Yeah,
I
but
think,
that's nothing but a bunch of bars.
where would you, it's a bunch of bars, but it's gonna, by being all that, people are gonna see all
We
these
have
bars.
enough
They're gonna
bars.
put other restaurants in there. They're gonna put little shops in there. They're gonna have settees outside where people can just get
See, my
fancy
opinion-
little frou-frou drinks. I feel like it's gonna help grow downtown.
In my opinion, I just think right now, the money, we got so many streets that need to be fixed. I'm
And he's
tired.
working on it,
And
but
I just think we need to focus on our infrastructure, our drug problem, and then let's worry about bringing in new stuff. That's just my.
Yeah.
But a lot of
I
times
agree.
This money is delegated for. It has to be for this. It has to be for that. He
Yeah.
has so much money
I-
that's delegated for the
Yeah.
streets, and that's all he's got. He's-
We've got to talk to him.
Yeah.
I got a huge vibe. He
Yeah.
is smart. He's
He
young.
is.
There.
very.
Yeah. Yeah.
Given the time, if he runs again and gets reelected, I think all those things will come into place.
I agree.
Because I'll tell you right now, his energy
It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
he's done more in 4 months. I know he's been there
Yeah.
7 now, But in 4
Seven.
months, he did more than what our mayor did the last 8 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He's doing an awesome job, and but he's going to end up at the state, and he might end up at the White House by the end.
You know, I bought.
Yeah,
I-
he's just gonna keep
hopefully
growing
he
up.
stays
Yeah.
long enough.
I hope he does stay in Marion his full and do the 8
Do the
term
two-term, yeah.
But I don't see him doing that because I guarantee you the state's going to want him.
Like I just put a bid in, and I'm waiting for closing and all that fun stuff in an area that I never would have thought about it. Would I? I would have like totally been like, that's inner city. That's shit. It's a bunch of junkies down there. I don't want to deal with it. But because I know who the mayor is and that he is taking care of the blight in the community, I looked and I was like, there's an abandoned house right across the street that I'm sure transients are in. It's awful. But I know I have that peace of mind that he's not going to let that sit there because we have other nice buildings going up around there. He's going to clean this up. So that's something that was changed with me because a year ago I would have been like, no. But now that I know that things are actually being done, totally gave me a different perspective of it. It was a positive perspective. Like, I know that something's going to be done about these abandoned houses around here.
Right.
They're going to be torn down or sold really cheap so somebody can revamp them.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I think he's doing a great job. But
Really,
see,
and
right there is a perfect example of us disagreeing.
No,
We're
I
just
think
like,
he's doing
yeah.
a good job too.
And we
I
do-
just,
yeah.
I just, the Riverfront District, I'm just not
Yeah.
too big of a fan because I just want some of these streets fixed,
Yeah.
man. It's, it's rough right now. We went on the golf cart, we hit one and it was, you know, so. But
There's a lot of alleyways
Don't go
in
down
there.
Gallatin.
They always make me ride on
I
back
mean-
of that damn golf cart. Let me just tell you, that
Gallatin is
girl's
like
going to fall
dun,
off
dun,
one
dun,
day.
dun, dun, dun.
Okay? I lost a shoe yesterday. It's going to be a hip the next time. And they're out front, and I'm like, dear God, holding on for dear life.
No, actually what happened, she's running her mouth and I hit a bump on purpose.
On purpose.
So I'm trying to bounce her off.
Might be true.
Example of the pettiness.
Exactly.
Petty Eddie,
Strikes again.
bro,
Again.
and listen, thank you so much
Yeah, we
Thank you for
appreciate you
having us.
guys.
for coming on. We like what you're doing. Keep it up.
Yep.
Hopefully, you come back again.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
And hopefully
Well,
you guys can come on our show.
Absolutely.
We'd love to.
We would,
Yeah.
we would
Love to.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe we might have something special.
A joint?
A game. Or,
Or maybe the shot collar thing. She wants.
yeah,
Please.
hey, we got, you know, I've got garage talk games in the back of my head that maybe we can do some pickleball.
We can do this.
Eddie, Petty Eddie, you down for some pickleball?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You think I can do it?
You should.
Conrad, I'm thinking that shot caller is going to have to go on your wheel.
I've already been on Amazon
the
looking
wheel?
for him.
What's the wheel?
The wheel of fear.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
You can
We
get-
haven't used
so
it yet. We're
Eventually,
We
there's
just
going to
got
be
it.
like the final boss sour, or like the jelly beans that taste like really crappy.
Yeah, that's a
We're
booger.
gonna be on
I
there,
always
or
get the
do a
booger.
shot.
Okay.
My granddaughter will be like, and
Yeah.
when she has that evil little look in her eyes, it's like, eat it. I know it's the booger.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or the crusty sock.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We'll see everybody again.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks. That was great, guys.
That was.
Thank you.
It's
That
fun.
was an
It's warm in here.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
I'm so sorry.